Let me know when you're streaming. Okay, I see you're streaming. All right, if you're watching us on YouTube, we'll be starting in a minute. Yeah, I understand that manually, Sanji. It's definitely harder to get in at the time of the report if you're trading manually. So, do you use the squeeze signals ever? All right, I got about a minute and then we'll go into the room. So, core durable goods. I say, okay, your ID changed. So, Sanji, send me your new ID and we'll get it fixed today. All right. IDs have been changing like crazy with Windows. Windows updates. It changed my laptop ID last week. But I also don't always trade with a protected version. I have an open version of the software because I'm always testing the software on different computers. So if I had to ask Jay to check my ID every day, he'd kill me. He'd go crazy. All right, let's go into the room. So welcome everybody to the 10-Minute Trades trade room for durable goods. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10-Minute Trades. I live in Pennsylvania and I teach people to trade the futures markets. Please remember that all trades are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please remember there is a slight delay to live trading. So it is possible that you could be a little bit behind us. So don't trade live on YouTube. And if you are watching us on YouTube, please give us a like, join and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you know the next time we'll be here. All right. So the big issue with core durable goods, and it's an issue with a lot of reports these days, especially this past year. Reports are not trading by themselves as often as they used to. And we've talked about that. We started talking about it Monday. We've talked about the difficulties of gold. Today, core durable goods is by itself. So let's put the news up. How do you know for sure? Obviously, the calendars will tell you if it's trading with something else. So let's take a look at the calendar. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's take a look at the calendar. So the overnight trades, we started at 4:15. The French manufacturing PMI was very positive. The manufacturing and the services, everything, all the reports were positive. Everything should have moved up. Everything did move up when I looked at it. Even the British, which we don't trade, but they had a great offset. So anybody out there that traded our Euro reports with our strategies, I'd like to know if anybody got up or if any of our overseas people traded the Euro trades. The news results were great. Very good offsets on all the reports. Even the British report had a good offset. So the British report was at 4:30, 5:30, because of daylight savings. So if you go back to 5:30, here's the pound. All right, the next candle is our trade. And depending how fast, so the British, even though the news was good, it really reversed. Okay, so it's all an issue of the speed with which it drew the candles. All right. If you go back to the candle of the trade, this candle right here is our trade candle. So, you would have had at least a 4 or a 5 tick bracket, right? I think it would not have been all that profitable based on the quick reversal. And I'm a little bit surprised at the reversal. A little bit surprised. Because the news was rather good. So we're here for core durables. No trade room for the manufacturing PMI report. That's an unofficial report, and I didn't want to. I'll do my own testing on it. I didn't want to torture everybody 100 times. With core durable goods, really, all we need is that number. That's the number we need. We can look at the others, but they're not as meaningful. So I'm going to leave room because I want to test. We're going to trade the DMM. But I have an alternative setup for the NQ. Or I should say Chantal came up with this one. I don't want to have room. So these are the two important numbers on durables. Gold just looks really difficult to trade these days. So we'll see. I mean, right now, my charts were stretched, so let me not get too overworked. Are we projecting something different than the 10-minute trades logo? What does that mean? Sal, what do you mean by that? Sal, I was looking at investing.com. I was looking at the news for investing.com. I use the website for investing.com to get the news result, just like I use Financial Juice Pro in the background to get news results also. In other words, this is just one of the tools that we use. That's all. All right, so core durable goods. There's not a lot of testing for core durable goods because it hasn't been trading by itself most of the time. So it makes it extremely difficult to come up with setups when that's the case. When core durable goods is basically trading by itself, or like in February, it's trading with quarterly GDP. That was back in 2020, though, so let's get the right dates. January. I can't believe I don't have February's video. I don't know why. Let me see what else it traded with. Chantal, what else did it trade with in February? Do you have it handy? Or do I have to look? I'm going to have to look. So if I want to find out what it traded with in February, I go to the calendars and I click on core durable goods. Like one of the calendars I use is fasteconomicnews.com. When their calendars are working good, you can get a list and see in February, it was trading with GDP. February, it was GDP. So I couldn't find my video, okay? Let me check something. So if I go to GDP, I'll bet my core durable goods video is sitting in there. So let's find out real quick. And it is. So sometimes what happens is I just don't remember to post it in all the various areas, okay? So last month, it traded with too much other news to be a reasonable test. It's not meaningful. In January, it's kind of trading like it's trading today. It traded like it's trading today. So let's see what happens. It was a bracket of 5, 4, bracket of 4. And that month, something happened with the broker, and the broker would not let us trade. The broker, it was a broker error. It was a broker error for us. So January, no way to look at it. We could look at, that's the big issue with core durable goods with gold and with testing in general. You have to go back so far. If you go back to November, December was Christmas, so it's no good for a test. Just not good for a test. You got to go all the way back to October. So you go back to October for durable goods. And you basically have a report that didn't respond, didn't do anything on gold. And it was a good little offset too. It just didn't respond. So October, that looks like a cancel to me. We waited, we waited, we waited. Not much you can do. It just didn't move. So that's one of the issues with this report. It's got a history of small moves. History of small moves. If we look at September, well, just for fun, nah, it's going to give everybody a twisted. In February, when it traded with preliminary GDP, look at all the news it traded with, though. This is the problem. Too much news. See, I don't want to even show this to you. I don't want to show it to you because it's a meaningless test. You got to go back to October, where it traded like it's trading today. But the markets are so different in October than they are now. that I'm not sure the same setup that would work in October would work today. And that's one of the issues that we're dealing with constantly. See, this kind of moves the wrong way, really, but it works for one target so far. The news was very negative, and gold went down before it went up. Down before it went up. Okay. So that did not work. Now, that was way back in September. All right. Way back in September. So we did some testing. All right. I say we. No, we. Chantal does testing. She gives me the testing. Then I test her testing. That's how we do things. Chantal does the initial test. We talk about the setups. Usually I give her a baseline to work with. Sometimes she comes up with a baseline herself. It's not a question of getting credit. We work as a team testing. And here's what we came up with. Durable goods besides the DMM. If DMMs are troubled because gold is problematic, we better have some testing going on so that we might have an alternative. So we tested trap trades, we tested breakouts and range. And the breakout trade on the NQ looks like it might be a viable test. So the NQ Corable Goods test is a bracket of 15. And Chantal, you should check me also. I mean, and I don't mind being checked. A bracket of 15, targets of 10 and 25. So I always go under 10 with the NQ. And a stop of 15. And I've got an entry time of 8:29:59. That's my NQ test. Now, I'm not saying anyone should trade these yet. These are our first set of tests. Stephen, are you saying you trade the NQ all the time? You trade the NQ all the time with breakouts? MNQ, okay. Do you use the software? I'm just curious what size brackets you use if you use the software. All right, so that's my test on the NQ. NQ for durables. Okay. And I'm not live on the NQ. Because this could be a trade that needs management. It just might not be that simple in its response. I don't know. But that's our test. Oh, okay, Stephen. I understand what you're saying. You use the zones. You trade all day with the zones. Interesting. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, and then let's look at our DMM. So there's a lot more people here. Did anybody trade the euro trades overnight? Anybody trade the euro trades overnight? Anybody? Anybody? But Stephen, you traded them differently. I need to know if anybody traded them with our exact DMMs. That's what I want to know. They looked like very fast moves to the upside. Stephen, were they very fast? In other words, I think they were small possible profits, not large because of the speed of the move. That was my first analysis. Now, the DMM for core durable goods. My concern with gold trading the way it's trading, a bracket of 5 is small. Targets of 3 and 8, I think, is proper for a small moving report. Stop of 10. I always, in these markets, I always am concerned about 58 as an entry time. All right. That's my concern. But I'm trading the DMM. The bracket was increased from 4 to 5. The bracket was increased from 4 to 5. That tells me that my boss read my email. He listened to me. And he made a change to the DMM. So that's okay by me. So we've got the NQ setup with a 15 tick bracket, I believe we're using, a big fat bracket, which you got to have big fat brackets on the NQ. And gold, we have a 5 tick bracket. I'm pretty much only going to be paying attention to gold because that's live. We're going to check our time by going to time.is. That puts us in sync, okay? I go to the website time.is and I just click on it and that puts me in sync. All right. Is there still a boat stuck in the Suez Canal? Did you all see that? A ship? A huge tanker. When it ground in the Suez Canal, of all places, for heaven's sake, could you pick a worse place to go aground? And it's blocking the Suez Canal. As if the world doesn't have enough problems with the pandemic. Now it has a shipping problem. Now it looks like they have partly refloated the ship. So maybe they'll be able to get it out of there. The news is unbelievable. It's a never-ending cacophony of insanity. Right? Empty the ship, it will raise. It may not be in a port where they can do that, Stephen. Maybe they can use tugboats. With all my incredible maritime shipping knowledge, I'm sure I can solve the problem for them in a moment's notice. Just use the tugboats. I don't know. I don't know a thing about boats. Never owned a boat. Never wanted to own a boat. Um, Definitely not a water person. But that doesn't make me a bad guy, right? It doesn't make me a bad person. Um, yeah, no, I understand. It's like lowering the air in your tires. So let me double check my durable goods gold setup. It's a bracket of 5, one target for 3 ticks, one target for 8 ticks, a stop of 10, and an entry time of 8:29:58. All right. And I've got it labeled, and that's my trade. That's my setup. You could see, it hasn't been a heaven's gift to the world. And durables in February 21 was not traded with the ES. It was traded with gold. So I'm going to be watching my gold setup. You got the PP right up there. It's a 30-second cancel. 30-second cancel. All right. Who's trading with me? Anybody trading it with me? So nobody traded the overnight trades. Nobody, not a single person, not a single person. Mike, I know you're trading. So my concerns, Mike. 58 entry, I don't love. 5-tick bracket, could be small. If I get filled early, I'll probably just exit the trade. If I get filled before we think the news is out, I will probably exit the trade. Okay. '58's a little bit early. Testing the NQ, trading gold. Okay. Our NQ test on new homes yesterday was a good test. All right, Juan, you're in the game. Mike's in the game. Paul's in the game. A couple of people. And then we'll be back at 10 o'clock for oil. Be back at 10 o'clock for oil. All right. 10 o'clock. How do things disappear on your phone? I don't get it. Oh, sometimes they don't. All right, gold. 7-tick candle. All right, that's a 7-tick candle. I've seen worse. The NASDAQ. What can you say about a NASDAQ that's already up over 80 points on the day? What can you say? I don't know. I don't have any words. I just don't have any words. Other than, wow, the NASDAQ really likes to move these days. I want to see the entry on the NASDAQ. So we've got a minute. So I do predict, my prediction is very good core durable goods, very good numbers. I would be surprised if the numbers are bad. So many economies are opening in the US, different states, different everything. I think we're, although, no, you know what? People are buying washing machines and dryers. And so I think durable goods sales are strong. That's what I think. I think durable goods sales are strong. That's my prediction. So if news is good, gold should go down. The news is negative, gold should go up. It's a 30-second cancel. And it should hit the first target, okay? It's a pretty dull fill. It's not a terrible offset, but it's not a great offset either. News has been running slow. The NASDAQ is a cancel. It got filled late, so let it play. And gold, it's trying real hard to hit the target. I'm trying to be patient in these darn trades. The news is on our side. The response is very minimal. The response is minimal. I'm combining both orders. I don't think it's going to get. Okay, I took a combination of the orders because I didn't think it was going to get to 8 ticks. So I hit the combine button and I got 6 ticks. Now watch it go up. I tried to be very patient also. And I was very patient. And now it's moving up. So what we're seeing, the NASDAQ did not work. Definitely did not work. I mean, gold so far this week is, it seems tradable. Okay, it seems tradable. Hey, Mark, was that patience or what? Was that patience? I thought I was pretty patient. You also have a trend to the upside. No, Mike, I don't know. I mean, in retrospect, it could have hit my second target. Look at the NQ. It survived a stop by 1 tick. I think on the NQ, folks, you got to use a 20-tick stop. You got to use a 20-tick stop. Okay? But let's watch the NQ. Our setup maybe a little tight, maybe a little too small on durable goods. Maybe the NQ should have been a 10 bracket. Chantal, you hear me? Yes, Mark, for me, I was very patient. I was trying. Look, it might have hit my second target, but I really feel like for me, I did the right thing. It just wasn't moving. I was patient for the first target. My second target, so it filled me at 30. And it filled me at 30. So Mark, just for your info, my target was 01 and it did not hit it yet. I wouldn't have been stopped out yet. 10 tick stop. My first target was 60, and then another 5 would have been 01. It did not hit my second target. But I could have moved my target in by 1 tick and gotten maybe 7 ticks on my second target. Okay? The NASDAQ is just asleep at the wheel, doing nothing. Our gold trade has a short signal, but I'm not sure I would take a short. You've got an upward trend in gold. You got the high of the day above you. You didn't have a big enough move on core durable goods to make you that interested in taking a short. I would not take the reversal on this trade. When you have a trade enabled, Ed, if you look up top on this taskbar, the combine button, the break even button, moves your stop to break even if the trade is profitable and in a profitable position. It will not move the stop if you're negative. The combine button will move 2 separate orders or 3 into one order using the order closest to current price as what it will combine into. Now, the NASDAQ is just, it's not moving the right way for the news. It should be down for the news. But you're dealing with a tremendous upward trend on the NASDAQ. So you have what we call a trend trade that has nothing to do with the news. Okay? It's really a random, trend trade that I believe has nothing to do with the news because it's not the right direction for the news. Okay? Let's take a picture of core durable goods. Right, Mark, you might be right. You might be right about gold. It might keep going. So, Mark, I guess if you were to have me change the way that I trade, what you would do, but it wouldn't have worked. If I would have moved my stop to break even, my break even was 30, and I would have been stopped out. So I could not have participated in this move up. My stop, if it was left alone, I would still be in the trade. You follow me? The NASDAQ had a positive trade, but not because of the news. All right. If you're watching us on YouTube, thanks for watching. Give us a like. Subscribe to our channel. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll know the next time we're here.